Achint Thakkar, welcome to CNN News 18.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Achint, first, congratulations for the success of your film, Monica, My Darling.
Thank you.
Your
Thank
music can easily be called as the soul of Monica, My Darling. It plays a very important role in the film. It's a dark comedy, an edge of the seat thriller, a whodunit. What was your approach when you started work on the film's music?
Um, so it wasn't. I don't think we had planned to do it like this. I think uh, Vasan, the director of the film, had a certain vision that he wanted to do a couple of songs, at least one song that he wanted to do in a retro sort of as an homage way. And then he said basically the rest of the music can be whatever you want. So I thought maybe this is just going to be like one song is going to be retro and everything else is going to be quite modern, because the film is not a period film. It's set in present day. So there's nothing, that would have to make us do that. But as we did the first song, I sent him not Ye Zindagi. We didn't do that. I sent him something else, which was very contemporary with certain retro elements. So he said, this sounds like a hit. I don't want a hit. I want to do it exactly like I want to do it more old, will Dantra Mukhra, and sit down and do the melodies like that. So that's when Ye Zindagi came out. Then when it came to the singers, then we were looking for a singer for Ye Zindagi, and then tried to went on YouTube and tried to find a lot of singers, and that's when Anupama Ji's video came about, and she recorded on it, and then that was it. That set the whole tone for everything.
So then how you ensured that a song will, although remind viewers of such classic as Jawani Janeman or Piya Tu Ab To Aaja, but yet it's different, it's new.
Right. So basically, we were being inspired by the spirit of it, rather than, it should not feel like a mimicry. It should feel more like a tribute, more of an homage, not a spoof. So we tried to do it in that spirit. I think the spirit, what that Vasan said, was very important right in the beginning. I think we approached it with that spirit.
Do you think was that a big risk? Like
I thought at the time, yes, a big risk. I thought, okay, maybe, this is a big experiment, but it's so much fun that when you're having so much fun, then you stop thinking about the risk.
Okay. So then how many versions you actually end up making for this song? Ye Zindagi Kaafi Nahi.
We did a bunch of versions. I think at least 7 or 8 versions of the same song in different sort of tweaks and that and this and that. Yeah.
Like the film wacky character, even the songs are equally fun. I really love the song I love you so much, I want to kill you.
Yeah, correct.
The song has this Konkani / Portuguese music vibe to it. We can clearly see the shift from instrumental to going electric in some of the songs. How you balance your personal style with the film theme?
So I would say the whole album is quite electric, because the 70s were quite an electric time. That's when the whole transition from 60s, and then when Panchamda came in, he sort of jazzed everything up. Like, he sort of took Bollywood music or Indian film music into a much more lively and a lot of synthesizers and a lot of experimentation that happened in the early 70s with R.D. Burman, as many people know that. So just keeping that spirit in mind, the craziness of the 70s, there was a lot of cool stuff. 70s, a lot of experimentation was happening, whether it's Usha Uthup or, people like even L. Shankar, if you know, he had an electric violin, and So we just wanted to keep that spirit of make it feel, old but still energy. Yeah.
Talking about Bappi Da, we all love Bappi Lahiri's music, and your song Bye Bye Adios sounds like that perfect tribute to Bappi Da. And is there a backstory of Bye Bye Adios? It's really looks like out of a ad film.
Right. Well, that's a lot to do with the way it was used in the film, and of course, Varun's amazing lyrics on that. It's used. If you've seen the film, you probably know where it comes. It's in the funeral scene. So, uh, yeah, that's just really quirky writing by Varun, I would say, because I had not composed that song for the funeral scene initially. It was done for another part of the film, and then Vasan said, we should try this on the funeral scene, and then Varun just wrote "Bye Bye Adios" to the melody I had. So that was is just a lot of fun, good teamwork there.
So while working on the BGM, which part or what was the biggest challenge when you were composing the background score for the film?
The good part about this was, so we had Ye Zindagi, we had Farsh, we had Bye Bye Audios before I started the score. So few songs were pretty much there. Uh, so so the tone of the film was sort of set. But then just to sort of balance the whole noir, Ennio Morricone-esque stuff, the old, Bollywood thriller stuff with the new age, and try to get a right balance. That was a bit challenging, but once the essence got cracked, then it was just fun. Then it was just a lot of fun.
So how you designed the soundscape for the movie? Were there any particular instruments that you only decided to use for one character or some characters?
Yes. There's if you notice, there's this like really almost like a vocal chant for Naidu, which is Radhika Apte's character. So that's just having fun. And then Vasan said, let's add Mega Police and Naidu Garu and stuff like that on it. There are certain sounds that play on Jayant's face when he's in trouble all the time. So yeah, I watched a lot of old movies like Tisri Manzil and all those spy thrillers to see what they were doing back then, because we wanted to make sure, now that we had Ye Zindagi and the songs had become like this, we wanted to make sure that the whole music would also feel like part of the same universe.
So what you picked from one of those movies from the 70s?
Not picked, but just the sounds, the way they use the strings, those high pitched strings, the chimes and bells and the vibraphone. I used a lot of vibraphone because that's something they used to use a lot back then. It used to be a big tubular thing that you played with mollets, but now we just played in the computer, so it's very easy nowadays.
You are the man behind the iconic theme song of Scam 1992, which was a rage and a hit on TikTok and on Reels. Was that the biggest challenge of your career composing for Scam 1992?
Well, the song wasn't a challenge. That was just done for fun. I don't know how that happened, but the score was a big challenge because it happened during lockdown, and it
Yeah,
was very.
recording the theme song and knowing Scam, Hansal Mehta.
Yeah. But the song happened way before, uh, almost a year before it happened in 2019 for me. Like, so the song was just like a freak thing. I know Jay Mehta from college. He's a college friend of mine, and we were just jamming, and the song happened rather quickly. And then they shot for about 8-9 months, and then COVID happened, and then that's when I had to work on all the episodes, and also that was challenging. Yeah,
But do people still identify you as the man behind Scam?
as the scam guy, yes, most times, yeah.
So then, what is the most intense phase of the music process, music making process? Is it the beginning or the end?
It's the beginning.
Yeah.
It's the beginning and the end. The middle is a lot of fun. The beginning, because when you're looking at a blank page, it's quite daunting sometimes, and the end is when you sort of have to let it go. So those are the two. It's like a takeoff and a landing. Yeah,
Both are equally important.
you both are equally important. Yeah.
Is there a method you have to when you start on a project?
I feel like a lot of if you just, at least for me, when I do nothing is when the ideas come. If I try and force it, then it doesn't usually happen. So I feel like procrastinating and dreaming and daydreaming is very helpful.
The other show that we are very excited about right now is the second season of Rocket Boys. That series also set in the past. So was
Yeah,
Scam.
right.
Do you think now you're a pro when it comes to composing music for biopics or themes that require retro music?
Uh, I wouldn't call Scam retro really, because the treatment was very modern. It was treated as something today. Although there were some, I was in like I wasn't really like going for a 90s sound or anything there. Here was where we actually went retro in Monica. And Rocket Boys, yes, that's more traditional and classic because it's set in the 40s, and also you can't really, your musical palette has to be um, very by the book. Yeah, but in Monica, it doesn't really have to be by the book because the 70s was such a wild time. It was such a transition for music in general. So I could get away with a lot. It's just the voices we use that make you feel like you're there. I think the voice casting was very important on that.
And finally, is there an album or a song that you think that has changed your life?
Oh, there are many. There are many. It's hard to say one. But I'd say there's one album that when I personally, for me, had a big impact growing up was Rang De Basanti when it came out, just the album and the movie and everything. So I was 16 when I heard that music and I saw the movie. So it was a very impressionable age. But yeah, I'm a big fan of a lot of Beatles albums. I'm a Beatle maniac. I'm a Rahman maniac. And yeah, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, all that stuff.
But what it did to you, do you remember how it shaped or helped you becoming a composer after listening to Rang De Basanti?
Um, it just sort of, it's sort of like that feeling that um, you start understanding the power of music, because before that, always it was more of a recreation, like. But here I was trying to, like, it's making me feel a certain way, and then the music was doing that, so it always felt like this dark magical art, like like magic. So that got me really curious. I think that sparked a lot of curiosity.
Is that
By the
the
way, it's Rang De Basanti, or there was an album called American Idiot by Green Day, which was sort of angst, uh, similar vein, similar emotion to American Idiot.
Thank you so much and best of luck, Achint.
Thank you so much, Vishal. Thank you. Thank you for having me.